Hi, folks, and welcome to Ferrum Wrestling 411. I'm your host, Gary Holden. With me always is head coach Nate Yetzer. Nate, welcome back.
Hey, Gary. How's it going?
Congratulations. Good win against WNL the
Yeah,
other day.
absolutely. Yep. Guys wrestled well.
It was a season opener for you guys. You went in. You seemed like you were fairly prepared. How did going in with your first preseason ranking, did that make a factor with you guys? You ranked number 10 in the country to open the season. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. But how did that factor in going into that match?
Well, I think we try to. We don't really talk. I addressed it. I think you don't want it to just be like out there and. So we addressed it the first time they came out and just said, hey, this is great. This is where we've earned, I think, this ranking. But it means nothing if we don't continue to work like we have been, and keep training really hard. It doesn't mean anything if we don't finish up the year, as well as we could. So.
When you go into a match like that, you know you've got a target on your back now. Washington, the league's like, all right, we got an opportunity to knock off a ranked team and everything.
Right.
That's got to be a factor in their minds and everything. To our guys, it's got to be something about, hey, we got to protect this thing now.
Right, absolutely. We don't really talk too much about that. We don't try. Protecting. It doesn't really matter. What we're ranked. To be honest, I don't even think we were ranked in the top 15 end of last year when we won the regional title and had a lot of success at nationals. So I don't buy too much into that. I just think it's nice at the beginning of the year to know that we're being recognized because we have the team we have coming back. And but I think our guys, most of our guys wrestle without fear, so they're not scared to lose a ranking. It doesn't matter. Some guys are going to go up and down, I think, a little bit. That's kind of the natural progression of the season and the way we train. We train through some tournaments and some matches where guys are going to be a little tired and maybe they're not peaking, but we always make sure they peak at the right times, not just. For the Washington League dual meet. No offense to them, but that's not what we're trying to peak for. So.
Okay. Well, let's talk a little bit about the dual meet. You started off, did they start at the first weight class, 125? Start at the first weight class. Brett Binnix was your 125 pounder for the day. Got pinned in the first period.
Right.
Just get caught? Or?
Yeah, I think, went out there a little wide-eyed. I think it's the first time he's been in the lineup as a starter, and I think, he didn't wrestle bad, just hung his arm, and the guy caught him and put him on his back. And, obviously when you're young and first time in the lineup, you can't afford little mistakes like that against a guy who's a little more experienced than you are.
Sure.
So.
Okay. 133. Bailey Cooper back in the lineup. I knew he had the surgery last year and everything. He's back in there and everything. Came up with a 5-4 win. Tight match all the way.
No. I thought we handled the first and second period. Handled the kid pretty well. Kid's a freshman. Kid's tough. Kid's actually from Roanoke. And then, third period, I think he got a little tired, and I think maybe as a part of it, just, first time down the weight, nerves a little bit, and I think he tried really hard to turn the kid the first couple periods and didn't get any back points off it, but maybe that gassed him a little bit, but that's something we got to address for sure, and but he competed pretty good, so. Good.
All right, 141 pounds, big win for you guys. Yeah. Austin Smith, sophomore, who missed going to the Nationals last year as a freshman by one match. He wrestles Zach Bailai Kabashi from Washington Lee, who went to the Nationals last year, went to the NCAA tournament.
It was a match away. I think he went into it national match away from Clayson.
So almost All-American and everything. And Austin Smith beats him 10-4.
Yeah,
fairly convincing.
Yeah, it was a close match all the way to the very end. But the thing about Austin wrestles hard the whole time. In practice, he wrestles all 7 minutes, 8 minutes, how long we go. He wrestles hard the whole time, and that's where it paid off. Because I think the kid got worn down a little bit because Austin was all over the guy's legs, and at the very end, Austin, I think Austin was losing by one at the very end, and he got a reversal, and then as he was reversing, he put him to his back. So that separated the match. Okay. We were actually, I think, losing up to that point.
Wow.
So. But he wrestled hard the whole time, but he deserved the win. He earned it. So did a great job. Really proud of him.
I remember watching him at the regionals last year, and in his third and fourth place match, it was like 15-13 or something like that, and there was no stopping. He went after that kid start to finish, and he was still going after him as the final buzzer blew.
Exactly. I think I put on his back twice, which cost him the match, obviously. But they did a great job, and we knew the talent was there. It kind of just was high, all over the place for the last year, inconsistent. I think we'll see a different Austin Smith this year. Still a long way to go. He's got a lot of work to do. So.
Sure. Got a lot of good future. Colin Saunders, kid that went to the NCAA tournament for last year, was a match away from placing at the NCAA tournament, and he came up with a pin for you. Got to have your pins from the experienced guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Did a great job. We went out there and scored a lot of points. Put a lot of points on the board before he stuck the kid. So did a good job. Again, probably needs instead of having a 6-minute gas tank, he needs a 7-minute gas tank. So we got a little work to do conditioning-wise too, but he did a good job.
First time down to weight for the year and everything's probably an issue as well. So, yep. All right, 157, you're replacing a 3-time qualifier with Logan Meister, who's back on your staff this year and everything. And you had Braxton May Nicholson went out for his first collegiate match and dropped a tight 4-2 decision.
Yeah, wrestled really well. It was actually 2-2. Actually, I think we were winning 2-1, and I believe so. And then the kid got an escape, and as soon as he got an escape, he shot in and double-legged us to it. And so Braxton relaxed, and obviously little mistake. When you're a freshman in the lab, first time, those little mistakes will kill you, and I think it cost him the match. I mean, I think Braxton was right in the match. And that's a kid that's a top 15 kid right there in the country. So
really,
yeah, he's a good kid, and I think Braxton's right there. He's knocking at the door. So a little more work and a little more shape and fix those little things will be really important for him. So he did a good job.
Important for a young kid like that to face a good wrestler out of the gates and hang with him and be right there.
Yep. I think it gives him a lot of confidence, makes him excited to know that he's that close. Just got to keep making little changes.
Looking forward to maybe meeting him again down the road.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right, 165 pounds. You got a junior in Andrew Tolbert. Came up with a nice 16-8 win for you. Looks like he was in total control of the whole match.
Yeah, pretty much. He gave up a takedown at the end and got ridden a little bit, but I think at the very end he got an escape in a takedown, I think, to get the majors. Did a good job. I mean, I think he's got to clean a few things up, and he knows that. And gave a couple of takedowns, probably shouldn't have. And but he's right there. He's knocking on the door, so doing a good job.
Okay. Move up to 174 pounds. Blake Rosenbaum, who was your pin king last year, finished. I mean, had one of the highest pin totals in the country last year. Going into the match, you got to know when you have certain weight classes that you can really count on getting points from and everything. Did you feel like this was a weight class you wouldn't get some good points from?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Blake just went there, took care of business like he always does, and does a great job. And obviously, it's all relative, I guess, but he did his job, so he did a good job.
Yeah. And this is a kid that was a match away from going to the NCAA tournament last year as well. I just get the sense of the way he's walking around, like he's ready. This is his year, and he wants to be at the national championship.
I think he's ready to turn that corner this year. Absolutely.
Good. All right, 184 pounds. We had a first-year wrestler, AJ Banish, lost a 10-7 decision. Talk a little bit about how his first performance was.
Well, he did a great job. He wrestled a kid that was a regional placer 2 years ago. Didn't place last year, but I think he was hurt last year. But the kid placed 2 years ago at 74. AJ weighed in at 74, so we bumped him up to 84.
Okay.
So and I think he was a little nervous before the match, first college match. A little bit of pressure on him, but he went out there and wrestled really good. I mean, when he wrestles like the way he's capable of doing. AJ's a very dangerous wrestler. He's really, he's going to be a pretty special kid. As long as he attacks like he does. He's got a lot of good attacks. Wrestled really hard. Just came up in the short end of the stick a little bit. I think nerves got to him. Got a little tired at the end, and didn't execute as well as he should have. But I'm really happy with his performance, other than the last 30 seconds. So. Okay.
All right. Let's move on up to 197 pounds. Another rock in your lineup the last couple of years. Hunter Goulart's in his junior year now. Came up with a 18-1 technical fall. I'm not sure how, it doesn't say how fast it was or anything.
It was pretty quick, yeah. I think it was first period. Yeah, he did a great job. Went out there and executed, and obviously looking for for us to progress as a team and to be a national title contending team. We're going to need Hunter, obviously, to step it up and turn that corner this year. And so far, obviously, he's off to a good start. So.
Sure. We were I helped work at the Hokie Open yesterday, and I saw a number of just specimens up there, and it reminded me like a lot of them are Hunter.
Yeah,
a lot of
absolutely.
Physical size and everything.
Yeah, the physical stuff's all there for sure. I mean, you just got to believe he deserves to win. So.
Sure. Well, scoring 18 points in a first period, that's pretty impressive right there.
Absolutely.
I find it hard to. I mean, a lot of 4-point back points that we did.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right, so moving up to heavyweight, you had another third-year wrestler, I think it is Tyreek Nolan. He got pinned in the first period by Matt Kamenar. If I'm not mistaken, that's the big kid, right, from WL?
Right, yep, absolutely. Senior, I think he's placed at regionals a couple of times. I was a little disappointed with Tyreek a little bit. He didn't really follow a game plan when we went out there, and he paid the price. A big kid like that who's experienced.
Sure.
Tyreek tried to wrestle him like a heavyweight, and that's not Tyreek's game. He's stay on the outside, create some action and create some scrambles, and he didn't do that. The kid kind of controlled really the whole match, to be honest with you. So. And
Tyreek is a light heavyweight, someone that probably could certify it down at 97.
Yeah, but he wrestled heavyweight his freshman year too. I mean, last year he dropped down 97. So it shouldn't be a huge surprise for him. And I mean, he's a light heavyweight, but some of the best heavyweights in the country in Division III are light.
Sure.
You know, they can move really well,
Right.
and so you know, he just didn't follow the game plan, and you know, he got to learn his lesson. And first time in the lineup, so he'll learn his lesson and move on.
Light heavyweights, you know, certainly have a place, and
Right.
I would imagine that the bigger heavyweights sometimes, even though they've got the weight on their side and
Right.
everything, they know that they're at a disadvantage with the speed and agility
Right,
and,
right, yeah.
and the conditioning a lot
Right,
of times.
right,
and
yeah,
everything.
yeah, absolutely. So it's just something he's got to figure out, and he's going to be wrestling a lot of matches this year, just to learn how to wrestle, learn how to what he can and cannot do against big guys. You know, he's got to learn that, and I think he will. I mean, I think he'll adjust. I hope so. You know, and but he's going to be competing every chance we get. He's going to be competing.
You got some big guys in the room that can work with him.
Yep.
That he'll get that experience
Absolutely,
with them and
yep.
everything. So, okay, good. Coach, you also had a couple of exhibition matches.
Right.
I'd like to talk about those. I understand that, you know, having been a college coach, I know that those exhibition matches are really important to get those kids the mat time and everything. You had 3 guys go. Tatum Tyree, Bobby Zefriend, and Cliff Harrison.
Yep.
Harrison, you know, obviously is a fairly experienced kid. He got a lot of matches in last year,
Right,
even though
yeah.
he kind of was an understudy with, you know, with Logan Meister and everything. Bobby Z, again, very experienced kid.
Right.
They both came up with wins for you, and then Tatum Tyree had a disqualification, must have got injured or something.
No, he was actually. I mean, the kid he wrestles I think a senior as well at 41, a regional placer 2 years ago.
I remember him, Alex
Yeah,
Valera.
yeah, and Tatum was actually beating him, and then just kind of the wheels fell off a little bit in the third period. I think it was nerves a little bit, you know, but again, he'll make adjustments. He actually got stalled out of the match, but
okay.
you know, with new rules and stuff, you know, you gotta work on bottom, and he didn't, and but he's a smart kid. He'll figure it out, you know,
Sure.
and you know, I was really proud of the way he competed the first 5 minutes. It's his last 2 minutes that got him, and
Sure.
you know, Bobby Z and Clifford Harrison did a great job, and you know, I think the biggest thing was you know, our routine was a little off this week. Just the fact that first time down the weight, and we actually worked out here in the morning, and then went up. And usually we work out up there before a dual meet, usually right before.
Right.
And so our routine was a little off. You know, not make excuses. Washley wrestled. They were better than I thought they were. Let's put it that way. And so I think our guys maybe weren't quite as prepared. And you know, the good thing about your first match, first time down the weight, nerves. But also as a staff, you know, you're still learning the guys on your team too a little bit, and I think you know, we have to iron out some details and fix a few things, and you know, and I think we will. One thing I think we do good as a staff is we make adjustments. So.
Well, I think, you know, going in with some first-time guys in the lineup and everything, you're going to expect to have some
absolutely.
surprises.
Yeah,
And
it's
everything.
inconsistency, and,
Yep.
but I think you know, obviously this dual meet Wednesday is a bit important. Tournament Saturday is important, and then the following week is even, you know, it's going to be a big weekend for us. You know, so.
Let's talk a little bit about Wednesday. You wrestle in Hampton City. We haven't wrestled in the last couple of
Right.
years. They've made the switch from a club program into a varsity program, and I know that you know, you're looking forward to seeing what they have.
Right,
They had a couple kids enter into the regionals last year. Very young program.
Right.
What are you expecting to see this Wednesday?
I think they get talent. I mean, they've you know, they've gotten a few kids that we've wanted. You know what I mean? So I think they definitely got the talent, and you know, really, it's really kind of an unknown. I don't know. You know, we're just going to be prepared like we always are, and go out there and wrestle really hard, and you know, see where it all comes out.
So 7 o'clock Wednesday night. Any fans that are on campus, you'd like to come watch the first, see the Ferrum Panthers in action this weekend, that'd be great. Talk a little bit about the Casperson Classic that you guys going to. That's up at Southern Virginia University.
Yep. Buena Vista, yep.
You've gone up there a couple of years in a row now. How many guys are you taking up to that tournament?
We're taking the whole team up again.
Okay.
Yep. The whole team probably won't compete, but we're going to take the whole team up. You know, for support and all that stuff, and you know, I think it's good for our young guys to get a lot of matches in a tournament like that. And the nice thing is right up the road, so we're back home by 8 o'clock at night, which is really nice. And you know, I think it's important. So, but yeah, so we're looking forward to this Wednesday, and then obviously focused on Saturday. And you know, Wednesday also we're having a big promotional event where we're having you can actually purchase a paper airplane, and you can we're gonna have a big contest halfway through the Hampton Sydney match, where you're gonna be able to try to throw that in a bucket, and the guy or girl who gets the paper airplane in the bucket gets a pretty cool prize. So
okay, cool.
Yep.
Cool. Panther Pack. I understand that. Now,
Yep.
I understand that they're going to make their own paper airplane, so it isn't like they have to.
Yeah, exactly.
They get a piece of paper. Your name will be on it and everything, and you will get a chance to design your own airplane.
Yeah.
And be creative about it and see if you can hit the bucket with it. So
yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Good, good. Well, that sounds like a really neat promo right there. Coach, I do want to talk a little bit about the rankings. You know, obviously we mentioned earlier that number 10 ranking and everything, but you got 3 guys that are ranked in the top 10 in the country. Obviously, your 125-pounder, Zach Beckner from last year, was NCAA finalist. We kind of felt like with the kid that he lost to in the finals was a senior. Zach might open the season ranked number 1. Sure enough, he is ranked number 1. You've got Colin Saunders at 149 pounds. He's ranked number 5. And you got Blake Rosenbaum at 174 pounds. He's ranked number 9, if I'm correct.
Yep, correct.
Were those about what you expected?
Oh yeah, I think Blake was a little bit of a surprise, you know, but I think that weight really cleared out, and you know, so I think we have a bunch of other guys like really knocking on the door. You know, obviously Tolbert, Andrew Tolbert, 165, a junior.
Smith.
Yep, Austin Smith. Yeah, he could be right there, and I think Bailey Cooper at 33 is going to surprise a lot of people. So I think, and then there's more than that, but you know, I think that's you know, I think a national champ and a you know, if Colin finishes let's say 5th. You know, that doesn't get you in the top 10. So, you know, obviously we need more guys to step up. Sure. You know, we have to be, in order for us to be a top 4 team, which is the goal this year, to get an NCAA trophy. You know, I tell you right now, I think Johnson and Wales finished 4th last year, 3rd or 4th, and they took 5 guys in nationals and 5 All-Americans. So that's it's a good barometer of what we need to do. So.
Well, I remember being on this show on Ferrum Wrestling 411 a couple of years back and asking you what it takes. And I remember you said it's gonna take a team effort at the regionals to get enough people into the nationals, and you felt like it was going to be a matter of at some point in time we won't just take 1 or 2 or even 3. We'll kick the wall down and we'll take in a bunch of guys, half dozen guys, and that's what it takes to score.
Absolutely, yep.
Having coached, you know, when I was at Plymouth State, I just took 1 guy the 2 years that I did it, and you can't score much points besides those guys. But when you get 4, 5, and 6 guys in there that could potentially score a lot of points, and all of a sudden you find yourself in the top 20, maybe top 10.
Yep, 5 All-Americans, 2 finalists, that gets you a lot of points, and that puts you in the top 4 right there. So.
All right. So is that what we're expecting this year now, Coach?
That's the goal. That's the goal. Absolutely, man. And we have the capability. You know, I mean, we definitely have the talent in the room. Now it's just a matter of guys believing in it and fixing the little things. I think that's the biggest thing.
Sure.
That's what separates programs. I think is making those adjustments throughout the year and making sure the guys, you know, understand that you got to really appreciate the process. You know, and each and every day, just worry about getting better. You know, a little bit better, and not get overwhelmed with maybe how far they're behind, or get overwhelmed by being number 1 ranked, and that doesn't bother Zach at all, Beckner. I mean, he relishes the opportunity to wrestle great competition, and so it's going to be a fun year, I think.
Take on all comers.
Right, absolutely.
All right, so next week, Coach, we'll come back and do another show, wrap up the Hampton-Sydney and the Casperson Classic matches and tournament. And then we're going to talk a little bit about you've got a big dual meet coming up with the number 7 ranked team in the nation. You've got a top 10 dual meet. We're going to be having that up in Roanoke and everything with Stevens Tech. And then we have our Star City Open up at the Salem Civic Center. So we come back next week.
Busy couple weeks.
Yeah, we're real busy. And then everybody will earn their Thanksgiving break.
Absolutely, yep, no doubt.
Great. Well, Nate, congratulations on the win. Thanks for coming on the air. Folks, that'll be a wrap for today. We'll see you next week. We'll talk a little bit more on Ferrum Wrestling 411. I'm your host, Gary Holden. For Nate Yetzer, thanks for being with us, and have a great weekend.